Hey guys, we just wrapped up a really amazing project, and we're super excited to show you the entire process from start to finish. This building is complete with insulation, electrical, sheetrock, and even heating and air conditioning. If you are considering getting a shed, a small cabin, tiny house, or backyard office anytime soon, then stick around and watch us build this one. You're going to get a ton of different ideas on what you can do with your very own project. We started off with a little bit of ground prep. The area was mostly grass, dirt, and some gravel, and was not very level. We excavated the area and removed about 3 yards of dirt to flatten it out. We then made a 4x4 pressure-treated perimeter, staked it down with rebar, put down weed barrier, and then filled the area with gravel. This will give us a nice solid base to build on top of, and also keep rainwater from puddling up around it. I do want to mention, before we start showing this build and diving into it, that since this building will be considered an ADU, which is also known as an accessory dwelling unit, that it is built with different building practices than some of our standard storage sheds, some of which will include glued down floor decking, moisture barrier on the exterior, and tape, metal, and flashing around the windows and doors. For the floor structure, we used 2x6s, 16-inch on center with 3/4 inch tongue and groove OSB. These sit on top of 4x4 pressure treated skids, and the walls are 2x4s and 16-inch on center as well. This building could be used in so many different ways. You could turn it into an office, a reading room, a gym, a man cave, an art room, or a place out-of-town guests could come stay in for the weekend. The size of the building is 10x16, and it's our modern style. It will have a 312 roof pitch, 12-inch overhangs on 3 sides of the building, and then an even larger 2-foot overhang coming off the high wall over the door and windows. This will make it stand out and give it a really grand appearance and give that wow factor. For the siding, we're going to be using a horizontal 8-inch LP product. This particular siding really looks sharp and will help give the shed that modern look we are going for. Before we can install this particular type of siding, we need to attach an OSB shear wall around the perimeter. This will give added strength to the building and prevent it from swaying or moving if we were to get extremely high winds. We will then wrap the entire exterior with a moisture barrier to make the building as watertight as possible. For the roof, we decided to go with an architectural shingle, but we could just have easily gone with metal. This is a pretty tall building and the roof pitch is not very steep, so depending on where you are standing, you won't even see the top of the roof much. This entire wall is going to be full of windows, which will bring in a ton of natural light. For the door, we chose a large slider with glass. This will give you easy access and make going in and out of the building very comfortable. It comes with a screen, so you also have the benefit of keeping the door open when the weather is permitting for some extra added airflow. The door and all the windows will have black frames. The paint colors will be lighter tones, which will make the black frames pop and give it a really sharp look. This is the 8-inch LP horizontal siding I mentioned earlier in the video, but we could have gone with a board and batten look, a standard vertical panel siding, or even a wood stucco option. It really just depends on the look you are going for, or if you have an existing structure you are trying to match. The siding can be pretty labor intensive. Each piece of siding is cut to go in between the trim of the corners, doors, and windows. Then we use a latex caulking to seal it and fill in the small gaps, and then paint over it. We have most of the exterior finished up, and now it's time to get to work on the interior. This is the mini split that will provide heating and air conditioning. The building is only 160 square feet, so it shouldn't have any issues keeping it at a comfortable temperature, whether it's summer or wintertime. The insulation will not only slow the transfer of heat energy, which helps keep the building comfortable and energy efficient, but it will also act as a sound barrier and help keep unwanted outside noise to a minimum. This will be especially nice if you're using it as an office and having meetings or on the phone a lot. For the underside of the overhangs, we're using a stained tongue and groove pine. We really wanted this building to have that wow factor and really look sharp. And this is just one more feature that is going to help give it that look we are going for. The interior walls will have sheetrock with a Sun Valley texture, and then we will use the same pine material we used on the underside of the exterior overhangs on the ceiling. But instead of staining it, we will paint it black, which will go well and tie in nicely with the black frames on the door and windows. Before we can paint the walls, we need to first put a primer coat on them. The building wouldn't be complete without a deck. We are using pressure treated for the frame and then going with a composite material for the surface with hidden fasteners. The deck is only 3 feet, which will make it more for aesthetics and making a nice transition into the office. If we wanted the deck to be more of a patio with a seating area, then making it larger would be a good idea. Installing the tongue and groove pine is a bit of a tedious job, as you have to install one piece at a time. But once it's finished, it will be well worth it and look amazing.
Dude, this isn't even dry. No wood.
Yeah, you left.
One of the most exciting moments on a job like this is when the electrical finally gets completed. You get to turn on the power, stand back, and see the building all lit up. This building turned out amazing. We hope we gave you some great ideas and inspiration on what you can do with your very own project. If you enjoyed the video and made it this far, then help us out by liking it and leaving a comment. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.